from Boris Johnson when he put the country into lockdown in March. But tonight it's emerged that just days after that statement, the Prime Minister's chief advisor, Dominic Cummings, travelled hundreds of miles to his parents' home in County Durham while he himself had symptoms of COVID-19. The Labour Party has demanded a very swift explanation. The Liberal Democrat leader has said Mr Cummings may have to resign. Well, let's go straight to Downing Street now and our deputy political editor, Sam Coates. So, Sam, what happened here and how serious could it be for Number 10?
So Boris Johnson's most senior aide, the most powerful figure in government, tonight facing questions about whether he should stay in government over a 270-mile round trip made with himself, his wife and his child at the very height of the lockdown. Mr Cummings was seen rushing out of Downing Street behind me on March the 27th after it was announced that Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock had tested positive for coronavirus. Downing Street said he'd developed symptoms over the weekend of the 28th and 29th of March. Then on Tuesday, March the 31st, Durham police received a report that an individual had travelled from London to Durham and officers made contact with his family. The Guardian is also reporting tonight that a witness saw Mr Cummings at the grounds of his parents' home near Durham with a young child on April the 5th, less than 7 days after displaying symptoms. And he was photographed at Downing Street just over a week later. Tonight, The Guardian published a statement from Durham Police who said that they had contacted the family involved to remind them of the rules at the time on isolation and unnecessary travel, although they stopped quite short of saying that the Prime Minister's top advisor broke the rules.
So, Sam, what's the reaction been then?
So, swift reaction from the opposition. The Labour Party have put out a statement, though no named individual on camera. It says the British people do not expect there to be one rule for them and another rule for Dominic Cummings. Number 10 need to provide a very swift explanation for his actions. Ed Davey, the temporary leader of the Liberal Democrats, had this to say.
Millions of people have made huge sacrifices to help stop the spread of coronavirus. They've changed their daily lives. They've sometimes had to watch funerals of family members through video conference. They've cancelled weddings. I think they would expect that a senior member of the Prime Minister's own office, responsible for these guidelines, would keep to them. And if it's true that Dominic Cummings has breached these guidelines, he should resign. If he doesn't resign, he should be sacked.
Dominic Cummings is an essential person in this government, in the view of many of the people in Downing Street behind me. They will fight very hard to keep him. As of now, there is no official response to these stories. However, there are some suggestions on social media and anonymously that Dominic Cummings was travelling to Durham because he and his wife were ill and they needed some support for their child, something that they believe was permitted under the rules and the guidelines set down by government. Now, there is going to be an almighty fight in the days to come over Dominic Cummings' future, but just don't expect Boris Johnson